Yo, 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 yo. Good evening, good evening, good evening, man. I hope everybody is doing well. Man, I'm here. It's Friday. Thank goodness. I made it through the week safe. Hope you guys did the same. Today, man, I'm bringing on my boy, Dimitri Cruz from Texas. If you guys don't know him, he's a brother of mine, 900 Global staffer. Great dude, man. So I'm gonna bring him on to the screen. And like I said, I hope everybody. Hey, what's going on, James? I hope everybody, man, shoot your questions, dude. Like I said, that's what this all is about. To learn what's going on. Uh oh. Oh crap! All right, so hopefully you can hear me now. But yeah, we here to know the bowler, man. So I'm gonna bring my boy Dimitri Cruz on. Let's see here. Bam. What's going on, Big D?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Man, dude, like I said, man, here, staying safe, staying my butt in the house, but missing bowling like crazy.
Yeah, man. It when you make it more about your lifestyle and not being able to do it every other day or every other hour, man, it sucks. It really does.
Oh yeah. But like, man, hey, like I said, like you guys didn't hear me earlier. I was trying my Bluetooth, but that didn't work. So, hey, man, my boy Dimitri Cruz here from Denton, Texas, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, man. Never know. I don't know where it is, but like I said, we here to learn a little bit about you, man. Bowling, personal. Hey, we here to ask questions. So, welcome to the hot seat.
I'm all for it, man. Let them pour in.
Yeah, man. So, hey, guys, let's go, man. Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, man, before we start heading into these questions, brother.
Like you said, I'm from Denton, Texas. 21 years old. Been bowling ever since I was 3 or 4 years old. Um, my family itself is a bowling family. My dad, grew up in a bowling alley, worked in a bowling alley. So I lived in a bowling alley. The house, bowling alley. It's all I did. Growing up, bowling was actually a hobby. Something it wasn't necessarily a primary sport for me. I actually grew up a baseball player, playing all through high school. Had a couple college offers coming out of high school. Um, was fortunate enough to play in college a few years. Finally decided that it was just time to call it quits. Started taking bowling more seriously. Traveling, promoting. Was able to sign with 900 Global the next year, and here I am, man.
Hey, that's what's up, dude. Man. I don't know. They said they can't hear nothing. Matt, is that just you or can anybody hear? Denise, Jamie, can y'all hear? Hey, I don't know. They said they can't hear, but I don't know. Man, so that's what's up, dude. So bowling is just another sport, man. So you're a baseball
Yeah,
guy.
man. I grew up a baseball guy, man. I'm a huge Red Sox fan. I've been ever since probably 2004. Um, yeah, man. I love going to the ballpark. I mean, that was my thing. Bowling was honestly something I did when I had off time from baseball.
Oh wow.
I bowled in high school. I finished either second or third in singles in high school one year in bowling, but man, I dedicated my full life to baseball for years and years, and then I just felt like I got tired of the same situation over and over again. I needed to do something that I really felt like could take the distance. And I finished school. I'm still in school, and started bowling more, traveling, and then realizing how much more money is really involved in bowling that people don't know about. And man, it just fell more and more in love with it since then.
That's what's up, man. Like you said earlier, for anybody that came in a little later, shoot your questions, man. Hit that share button. Let's get everybody on, man. Let's hear this story. He already said that bowling was part of the family from the get go, man. So he grew up in the bowling alley, which was a good thing, man, because that was a question. Who did this? Is my thing. I know you got another brother.
Yes,
Yeah, I seen him bowl, but who decided you were going to be the bowler and he was going to be more of the manager person?
man. Like I said, man. Like once I got the taste for the amount of money that can be made in bowling, you know, a couple years ago, if you had asked me about bowling on tour, trying to win a title. It really wasn't necessarily what I wanted. You know, I was bowling because I enjoyed it and I love it. I started making more money, and I was loving every bit of that. You know, he was more about his work and school, and like he just, I guess, understanding that any sport you got to put the amount of time in that's necessary.
Right.
And it got to the point where I just could not have a bowling ball in my hand. I was practicing every day. You know, when I was 7, 8 years old, I was throwing 20, 25 games a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would bowl until my hands were hurting, and it was insane. And you know, once I got a feel for how much money can be made in the sport, I started falling in love with it, and then I started to grow a lot more confidence in the sport. Really feel like, okay, man, I can compete at the PBA level, you know, the regional level, whatever the case is. So, you know, once I got more of a feel for it and what it's really like, and the memories and the people you make, I fell more in love with it than he did, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I see him bowl some tournaments here and there, but you know, you are that guy, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, he definitely bowls. You know, sometimes it's more of those convenient things when he bowls to enjoy some time with the family, or you know, just because he feels like bowling that weekend. But man, if I can bowl 4 or 5 tournaments in a weekend, I'll do it in one weekend. I'll drive to here, drive there, drive there. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't ever feel like I get tired. I can bowl 40, 50 games. Yeah, I may be a little wore out towards the end, but like, I'll keep going. It just doesn't bother me.
Well, because you're young still. Wait till you get a little older.
Yeah, you're right.
Gonna put the wear and tear on you. That's for sure.
You're right.
Oh man. Hey, so did you go to college? If so, where did you go? And did you even think about bowling collegiately?
See, I had some options. So I ended up going to Eastfield College, which is in Mesquite, Texas. I ended up playing baseball there for a year. I transferred over to Mountain View, which is in South Dallas area. Played baseball there for a year. Coming out of high school, I mean, it was definitely an option. It was something I did want to do.
Right.
But I know playing college sports, you know, as far as baseball, football, basketball, and then trying to do bowling at the same time, it's going to take up a lot of your time, you know, and I really thought about if I could handle doing both in college and doing, you know, college schoolwork.
Right.
And, I mean, it was definitely an option. Charlie Reed, the guy who just won, you know, All-American Award for McKendree, really good buddy of mine, basically probably could have got me there. I could have bowled at McKendree. You know, I had talked to, I think it was the Nebraska University coach coming out of senior year. It was definitely an option as well. So I definitely had some offers to bowl somewhere, you know, but like I said, man, I was such a baseball guy, and if I felt like I couldn't make both of them work, I was going to choose the baseball route all the way.
Okay. Hey, you see that question right there?
Who do you?
Hey, go. Look. Let me answer. I'm gonna answer on my behalf. I think he is. He has the hair. You see the hair? He got that movie star hair to where he can do this.
Man, I haven't had a haircut in probably 2 months, man. I need it bad. I need it real bad.
See, look, he about to do it right now. Just go ahead and give us that movie star little look. You know, look at that, man. Dude, that right there is it. So hands down, I give it to Dimitri, man. He is the better one.
Hey, that made 2020 better for me. That's all I needed to hear right there.
He don't comb it? It don't need to be combed. He got the curls for the girls. Pop, what you talking about?
Oh, man.
Yeah, but no, let's see. We got another question here, man. Let's see. So you think?
Scoring better when bowling wasn't as serious, or now that you know how much money is out there? I think it's a little bit of both. You know, when I wasn't as serious into it, I didn't really realize how serious it was. I was just practicing. I mean, it wasn't necessarily productive practice. It was more free practice, just rolling the ball.
Right.
So I think bowling local stuff, you know, on house shots at centers I'm used to, I was scoring pretty good back then. I do think knowing how much money's out there now, I started, putting an actual practice resume together, working on spares and my feet work and all sorts of different things. Sometimes knowing how much money's out there, you can put more pressure on yourself to bowl. I've always been a competitive person, I think back then, whenever I used to not bowl very good and I would just kind of get down and it really gets to me. I have bowled a lot of high scores in my life, and I'm grateful for that. I do believe it really depends on the amount of practice, the amount of serious practice that you put in. Any guy in the world like Jason Belmonte could have the absolute rawest talent you've ever seen, but
right.
without a practice resume, I mean, you're not going to beat anybody. I mean, practice is what makes you perfect. And the thing I've learned is
I'm not gonna say perfect, but it'll make you more consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. It's instead of making 5-6 mistakes a game, you make 1 or 2 a game. You got to get up to that point. And the way I look at it is, something my dad has taught me is the day that you stop learning is the day that you have to call it quits, because then you're not going to be in the sport growing as a bowler. You're just going to be the same average bowler every single day. So,
right.
And it's crazy because, some things that even when I'm practicing, I throw a couple balls and I'm just like, I've learned new things about myself just practicing.
Right.
And, that's something I think that every bowler needs, and I do think I was still scoring as high, but, everyone has their spurts, everyone goes through downfalls, upfalls. It's definitely more motivation, knowing that there's a lot of money out there.
Oh yeah.
It's more motivation for me to practice, to work hard, try and make sure I'm on my game as much as possible.
Okay. Growing up, what challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
Believe it or not, two-handed bowling hasn't been on the tour for very long. Growing up, that was a big deal. A lot of people gave me criticism for being a two-handed bowler. I had a lot of friends that were bowlers, and it got to the point where they honestly got tired of me bowling two-handed, and they said, "Oh, that isn't true bowling. That's not how it was created." And that was definitely a challenge because I did it the way I felt comfortable.
Right.
I did it the way I felt like I could be successful at it, and that was a big challenge for me because at some point when I was about, I want to say 13, 14 years old, I really did consider going to one-handed. I got to the point where I got so tired of hearing all the criticism.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, maybe I should be a one-handed bowler. It wouldn't be a problem anymore. But I had a thought, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to work more. People don't think that two-handed bowling is worth it, should be on the tour, whatever the case is. I'm just going to practice and work until I can prove them wrong. That was my goal growing up.
That's what's up. All right, we got another question, man. Here you go. What is your favorite center in North Texas? Be careful, your dad is on you.
I love our center, obviously. My dad owns the center, but man, I've grown over. It isn't more about like where I can score the highest, whatever. Personally, I just like the way centers look. Sometimes Mel's Lone Star Lanes, Georgetown. I think that is a phenomenal center. I'm not talking about the shot. I mean the center in general.
Yeah.
The center in general is extremely nice, man. Great. They take great care of their lanes. In North Texas, AMF Garland lanes.
I think I bowled there.
You have bowled there once. There's a lot of history. I have a lot of history in that center. I've shot some serious scores. I've made a lot of money in that center. I was very good. I used to bowl league there. I was very good friends with the manager for a while, and they're great people, great staff. I mean, it's a great center. Big center, huge center. That was probably my all-time favorite, AMF Garland.
Okay. Here's another question here. That's a pretty good one. Does your baseball muscle memory and hand-eye coordination benefit you in bowling?
Absolutely. Growing up playing baseball, that was something you had to work at as well. Trying to get repetitions to not perfect, but be as consistent as possible, like you said. And that's something that I carried over to bowling. My dad taught me to have this, the best hand-eye coordination I could possibly have. And that helped me with bowling. I mean, being able to see what the bowling ball's doing, seeing what the pins are doing,
right,
it's definitely helped me to, make adjustments, see better shapes, whatever the case is. A lot of tools that I had playing baseball, I've carried over to bowling, and they've helped me so much.
Hey, that's what's up there, man. And people don't realize, dude, it is other sports, man, that actually help us in other things. You know what I'm saying? So, golf helps this, basketball helps this. So it's really a awesome thing, man, to hear. That's a great question, Jamie, and I really appreciate that one.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. With COVID-19 going around, does it make your condition more susceptible than other times? Because a lot of people don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is like the COVID-19 is, everybody's trying to stay safe. Everybody obviously wants to be in a bowling alley right now. I would die to be in a bowling alley right now. And, ours is literally 2 minutes up the road. I saw a couple videos the other day about, I think it was from Shannon O'Keefe, talking about you need to be strong in your legs and there's things you can do, when you're not in a bowling alley. And I feel like, most people think if you're not in a bowling alley practicing, you're not getting work in. And that's not necessarily the case because, I mean, you can easily do stuff at your house. You can do push-ups, sit-ups,
Right.
I actually started doing a workout a couple weeks ago. I started, doing a bunch of stuff in my house, going on a bike ride 4 or 5 miles every day, just to build my legs, keep my legs strong, It's definitely a serious matter going on. It's brought a lot of people, and I'm worried that a lot of people aren't going to want to bowl when we go back to bowling. They're going to be like, man, I didn't really miss it that much. I'm done. But, I think it's really all getting to us. The best thing we can do is try and stay strong, keep ourselves busy, as much as possible. I mean, you can do anything at home, man. You could. I've seen videos people rolling the ball outside in the grass.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like I don't want to do that because I love my bowling balls too much. I don't want to mess them up. But man, just simple, small things like that make you a better bowler. You just gotta, it's really about people practicing and staying with the rhythm, repetition.
Right.
It feels like you can't do that because you can't bowl, but riding a bike, man, working out in your house, going for a run, rolling the ball, into the couch or something, just trying to stay tuned up is the best thing you can do right now.
Okay. Another question here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Pat Roth said you love Bandera lanes.
He says, do I love Bandera lanes?
No, he said you do love Bandera lanes.
Yeah, that's a great center as well. I know the managers pretty well there. Bowling a couple times there. They had high school state there one year, and we during qualifying our team was bowling really well, and I did manage almost shoot 300, my first 300 in that bowling alley. I ended up shooting 299, but yeah, I've had a lot of great history. They run a tournament there twice a year, in April, I believe in November.
Okay.
Team tournament, and they put it on a reverse block pattern. I think it's about 37, 38 feet, and it is brutal, man. It is. I mean, you can load up in brackets and shoot 208, 209, 210, and you could clean sweep. I mean, it's hard, man. It's really hard, and I've had success, and I managed to shoot 760, 771 one year there, and it being that it's a two-sided center, I mean,
each side plays differently. Guaranteed.
Yeah, your shot's never the same. I mean, you could have 780 on one side and 530 on the other side. It's brutal, but it is a grind, man. I mean, sparing, it really shows you how big sparing is. It's a great tournament, lots of money involved, but the center itself is great hospitality. They always have issues just like any other center.
Right.
But the managers, owners are very upfront and they're kind about it. They do the best they can to handle it. And I mean, I have a lot of respect for those people. So
that's cool. Well, Matthew Reed, I'm sure you know him. I may not know him, but since you kind of know his game, what kind of practice regimen would you suggest?
Man, you may, okay, Brandon, you don't know this kid. He's a lot younger than us. This kid he's got serious game, man. He throws the ball phenomenal.
Okay.
Man, the biggest thing I'd recommend, you and your dad and I used to talk about this a lot. And, watching flow bowling, what I've noticed, and even bowling just local tournaments, the biggest thing that I would work on is to be versatile with your speed. I mean, being able to slow your speed down, being able to speed it up, take your hand out of the ball, being underneath the ball, being a little bit more rounded. Just try to be a little bit more versatile that way.
Right.
Because the more tricks that you can have, I mean, bowling tournaments, I've had to learn that as well, but you got to be able to change your speeds a lot. I mean, I've had success where I've bowled, 180, and I'm like, man, I'm not doing something right. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a little slower today, the rest of the day. And I've made a serious move and altered my speed, and I shot lights out the rest of the day, little things like that just can really make you a lot better bowler, and especially on patterns too as well. I mean, the more versatile you can be, like Anthony Simonson, Chris Barnes, guys like that. I mean,
yeah,
they have success because they're versatile. So, and even me, I'm still learning some stuff today that I need to work on as well. But reality, man, I mean, the biggest thing I'd work on, Matthew, is definitely just work on your speed. Changes up and down, just side to side, whatever you got to do.
Okay, good advice there, man. Got another question for you. How long has your family owned that bowling alley?
Let's see. 21. I believe this year it is going to be 13 years.
Okay.
We moved. We were originally from Houston. I was born there, lived there until I was about 8, and then we moved up here. It was another bowling alley that actually got tore down, and they rebuilt it, and we remodeled everything in the inside of it, completely changed it up. And we've owned it for about 13 years now, I believe.
Okay, what's up? Hey, are you surprised by the amount of bowlers that shows up to a tournament at your house, at your guys' bowling center, on a house show, knowing that you'll be the favorite to win?
I mean, yeah, I've thought about that so many times, about us having tournaments at our center, and I have gotten criticism about it, like, oh man, I'm not going to bowl, he's bowling. The thing is like, it's anybody's given day. I mean, yeah, I bowl league here, I practice here, I know which pairs do what, but a lot of people know that I'm not going to sit here and cheat and do that on purpose just to try to make money, or
right,
whatever the case is. I've had tournaments where we used to have scratch tournaments there, 6 gamers on the old red, white, and blue patterns, in house shots, whatever the case was. I never won any of those. I mean, I majority than not, I bowled awful on those patterns. I've had plenty of tournaments in that center where I've shot 570. And, and reality is that what I don't think people really understand is, like, knowing that it's my center and people have a tournament there, it's almost more pressure on me to bowl good, because it's like, oh, well, it's his center, we need 780 out of him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Absolutely.
And you can catch, some of the pairs that are a little bit tougher than others in our house and bowl bad. I mean, it just makes you look bad. You're like, well, it's your own center. You can't score in your own step. I mean, it's day to day, man. You're not going to sit there and average 270 every day in your own center.
Right.
And I mean, I think the reason a lot of people show up is because They know we're not those type of people. We're not going to sit there and try to set up tournaments just for me to win and take people's money. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. We're not those type of people.
Yeah.
And, the only thing that I use more of an advantage having our own center is I'm able to go practice whenever I want to. I can go practice of certain patterns, whatever the case is. I have that luxury.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't want that to be something I abuse to the system. I don't want to sit there and specifically take people's money on purpose. It's not something I would ever do. And that's never the goal when we run a tournament there.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Here's another question for you. What's your favorite tournament, amateur and professional?
Amateur and professional. So I was able to bowl nationals this past year. I know it's allowed for amateurs and professionals. I know it's an more amateur tournament. That definitely has to be one of the higher. I mean, it's a great tournament. First time I ever bowled it, I was a little bit skeptical. I was a little bit nervous about what was going to happen, what the shot was going to be like, whatever the case was. I was lucky enough to have a great year there for the first time, but that is a really well-ran tournament. I mean, people from all over the world come in to bowl. I know that, they always say that, the centers make a lot of money because they go up in beer sales because people bowl so bad they want to, get drunk afterwards. But, man, it's a great tournament. It is definitely a grind. I mean, some of the best bowlers in the world shoot 550 every set. I mean, it's tough. It is not easy. And I think it's a great tournament. It shows you what kind of bowler you are. If you throw the ball bad, whatever the case is. But it's a grind. It's not something that you go in there and think you're going to shoot 780 every set, 770. You got to work for it.
You're right.
I definitely like one of those tournaments for sure.
Professional.
I haven't been able to bowl it. To watch the U.S. Open, the Bowlers U.S. Open. I've when they post the patterns, I look at them. This past year, I looked at them and I watched the qualifying, and man, that is a grind. I mean, talking about so many games on so many hard patterns, that is one. I've never even bowled it, and I can tell it is a straight mental grind.
Oh yeah.
That's got to be one of the best tournaments I could watch, just because you really see, how defeated some guys are, how defeated and then motivated they are. I mean, it's just you're some of the best bowlers in the world. It makes them look like amateurs.
Absolutely.
And I think that's definitely one of the best tournaments I've currently ever seen. I haven't hopefully I'll be able to bowl it next year, but that's definitely something that I will continue to watch all the time.
Hey, I strongly agree with you on that one, dude. Strongly agree. Hey, besides being able to practice in you guys' bowling center, what other advantages do you feel you have over other bowlers?
Personally, I am fortunate enough to have several PBA bowlers that live right down the street from me. Chris and Linda Barnes.
You're next to Double Oak.
I'm not too far. Yes, sir. I'm 15, 20 minutes up the road.
Okay.
Little Elm, Texas, Anthony Simonson, Dino Castillo, AJ Chapman, Anthony Lavery Spar, Sean Lavery Spar. I mean, I have all these guys within 45 minutes of me.
Oh, wow.
I think that's an advantage because, Anthony Lavery Spar, Sean Lavery Spar, Chris Barnes, Linda Barnes, I chit-chat with those people all the time. I'm pretty sure they're annoyed of me by now because I'm always asking them questions and questions and questions. But they've definitely supported me ever since I was young. They gave me the best advice I could ever ask for. I specifically asked Chris Barnes one year, what does it take to be successful on tour? And he shot me a long message, what I really should work on and be perfected at. And I've taken that into serious consideration. I've looked at it and said, okay, I'm going to practice on this today. And a lot of people are fans of these guys. I'm a fan of all these guys, but I don't think a lot of people have that luxury. I don't think they're, close enough with these people to get advice like that,
Right.
I do believe that's another advantage for me because anytime I have questions, I know all these guys. I can ask any of them, and they give me a straight up honest answer.
That's what's up. It's always good to have that in your repertoire.
Yeah, absolutely.
When did you sign with 900 Global?
I believe 2018. It was I want to say June 2018.
Okay.
It was the first year I also went out to TNBA Nationals in Vegas. A month, I think I went out to Nationals a month after I signed. I believe it was June 2018.
Okay. When the news broke about the production moving to Utah, what were your thoughts on it? How did you feel?
When I found out about that, I got the email from our reps. I wasn't really sure. I wasn't really sure what they were trying to accommodate by it. When I got some more information about it, I understand why they're doing it. The COVID-19 stopping everybody from bowling. I mean, people can't really order bowling balls. They can, but they can't drill any bowling balls. They can't do anything unless you have your own drill press. But any bowling, I mean, really, besides bowling, just anything in general, a lot of companies are losing money. They're not making sales because people aren't going to order balls if they can't drill them.
Absolutely.
I definitely think it was a smart move. I understand why they did it. 900 Global is very descriptive when they make a decision about something. They definitely persuade you, give you reasons why they did it, and I agree with what they did. I do think that that decision, it was a tough one to make because it's not something you necessarily want to do, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do for the company, man. It's you got to do what's going to help your company grow and stay alive. And Global was being the fastest growing market. I mean, we were skyrocketing.
We were, absolutely.
And I think we still are. And I think it was definitely a tough decision, but I definitely agree with what they did. I think it was a smart move for sure.
Okay. What is your favorite ball?
Favorite ball. So a lot of people would probably know the answer to that question. I'm still a huge fan. Honey Badger, the Badger starting Badger line. Excuse me. Honey Badger, White Badger. Those were definitely balls I started out with.
Yeah.
The original Black Ops. I don't know if people were fortunate enough to drill one of those. The ball was really, really good. Currently, Money Badger Tour, man, is phenomenal.
How did I know you was gonna say that, dude?
Money Badger Tour, Fluxes. I mean, those two pieces right there, I've scored really well with. In a lot of different centers, a lot of different patterns. I've already drilled two Money Badger Tours. I went ahead and got two more.
Right.
They're still at the house, and I'm gonna punch those up sometime. But Money Badger Tour is phenomenal. I feel like I can use that ball on a lot of different things.
Right. Okay, dude. Tell us, the viewers, because like I said, ever since I've been doing interviews, dude, I always learn something new about all my people, all my guests, dude. So we want to know. Tell us something that we don't know about Dimitri Cruz.
So somebody asked me a few months ago. I was bowling a tournament, and I shot, 190 something. I just made a lot of bad moves. I threw the ball bad. I started walking down, up and down the center, like I was pacing. And somebody said, "Hey man, I see you do that all the time when you bowl bad. Why do you try to just let the anger out?" I said, honestly, I didn't want to tell you because it's kind of something I do on my own. But what people don't know is if I'm on a certain pair and I'm watching somebody 4 or 5 lanes over, or I'm walking up and down to see what the scores are looking at people watching them bowl. People always say that more than a pair of eyes is better than one, you know, especially when you're bowling.
Right.
And so I feel like if I'm struggling bowling anywhere, any tournament, any shot, any center, and I see somebody else striking, I definitely go and watch and see what I'm not, basically see what I'm not seeing.
Right.
In other words, it's almost like I get advice from other people without asking. Just watching them, it helps me, you know, see something I'm not seeing. Okay, maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to do this. You know, and a lot of people think that it's me frying out. And, yeah, don't get me wrong, I've fried out a lot the past couple of years. But I definitely think, you know, you can think, you know, the best you can about what you need to do. But if you really don't physically see what you're not seeing, it's hard to fix what you're not doing right, you know. And when you can see somebody striking, like, man, let me go. Okay, he's using that ball. I got that ball. Okay, he's playing that far right, left, whatever. You know, that helps you. I think that helps you to grow as a bowler, because when you can learn why you're bowling bad, and then turn it around as quickly as possible, and then still save a set, or feel like you learned something that day, I think that makes you a much better bowler. You know, and I think people have taken it as me frying out a lot, and I'm just walking off and trying to cool off. But I've had those moments, but I also do it to get advice, to see what I'm not seeing. And I think that's what has made me a better bowler today. Honestly, I really do. Okay.
That's what's up, dude. Well, look, man, we're not going to hold you no more, D, man. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your time. We're going to have to hit a tournament, some double tournament, something.
Hey, I'm all for it, man. You just let me know when.
I got you, bro, man. Look, tell the family I said what's up. Like I said, my boy Dimitri Cruz from Vincent, Texas, guys. Great dude. If you see him in the bowling alley, speak to him, man. Very humble and awesome bowler, dude. So, hey, we appreciate you coming on the show, bro.
Hey, thanks for letting me.
Yeah, all right. Have a good one, man, and be safe out there.
All right, man. We'll see you
later. Yo, guys, that was my boy, man, Dimitri. Man, he's such an amazing guy. Jamie, I need you on the show one time. No, but hey, be safe out there, guys. Monday, you know, I'm off on the weekends. I call it I'm off on the weekends. But Monday, we have Gail Rogers coming on. So all next week, we have some other stuff going on. So, man, like I said, I'm booked for the next couple of weeks, man. I'm super, super, super excited about helping, you know, everybody helping me push this. Hit that share button, and let's continue to do what we do, guys. So, like I said, Gail Rogers here Monday. And I forgot who else it was on the schedule, but we tune in. All right, guys. So, like I said, thank you. Be safe. Have a great weekend, and see you guys on Monday. All right. Peace. Have a good one.